Hey everyone, how are you doing? I wanted to take a few minutes just to talk to you about our updated COVID safety guidelines and kind of where we're at at this stage, this next new stage of the pandemic. We're making a number of changes in response to the combination of cases and also hospitalizations and just the level of vaccination rates and also immunity due to people having had the virus recently, and just put that whole picture together. That we'll be issuing the full updates. But the big thing that I want to talk to you about is about masks, because we've decided in our congregation to continue to stick with masks. So maybe some of you are groaning, maybe some of you are cheering, but I want to tell you about why. This has to do with three things, actually. It has to do with science. It has to do with our values, and it has to do with who we are and what kind of community and people we are here. So the first thing, science. So science is showing us that this idea of individual choice or optional masking is way less effective than universal masking. If a few people choose to mask, it's way less effective than just having everyone mask. So that's where like putting this idea of individual choice is not as effective as just saying collectively we're going to make this choice. So that's a science information, and we'll put a link of a study that describes some of that effect. Secondly, our values. So we know that we are a church that values protecting those who are the most vulnerable and centering the experiences of those who are most highly impacted in any given situation. So in that case, in our community, that's those who are most likely to have the biggest, most severe impact from any transmission of COVID. So those who are immune compromised, those who are older, and what we know, this brings us to our third thing, which is what we know about our community, is that we are a community that's filled, just by nature of being a church, we are a community that's filled with folks who fall into that category. Maybe more so proportionally than the general public. So we want to be a safe place where our whole community can come and trust that they can come with the highest degree of protection. So what we know is that the highest degree of protection is universal masking. And we know we want to make sure that we protect those who are the most vulnerable. And we know we have a higher percentage of those folks in our congregation. So for these reasons, our focus for safety as universal masking indoors. Our outdoors, we're going to mostly move at most levels, not all, but to optional masking outdoors, also following the science. So thank you for working with us and for continuing to uphold this important value of who we are together. If you have any questions or feedback, even if you totally disagree or you totally agree, please reach out in dialogue and continue the conversation, because we know we're all learning here and we're all trying our best to keep up with an imperfect, ever evolving situation. And it's not the easiest thing. So the best thing we can do is keep our hearts and minds open, and our hearts and minds open to each other most of all. So thanks and take care.